It's not over.
Stop the fight!
People.
Everybody, I come here for everybody. Kill everybody. I'm the champ. I'm the king. Kill everybody. Ah!
Okay, here's our UFC 275 post-fight reactions to each fight. And, man, we just witnessed the greatest light heavyweight of all time. Comparing Jones and Gustafsson to this, in my opinion, isn't comparable whatsoever. And, man, from a betting perspective, having Jiri by KO not happen was just... Glover by sub or finish was so stressful. He could have finished the fight 7 times. Props to Jiri, though. He stayed in. He had good submission defense. And, man, everyone was counting Glover out, and he showed up to fight. Round 1, Glover gets him down. And I think Glover got full mount in this 6 or 7 times and just couldn't get him away. Insane. I didn't think it was going to go to round 3. And just kept going on. And Glover was, in my opinion, 28 seconds from keeping his belt. He won that round 5, he won round 4, and he won round 1 for sure. And then round 2 was close. But, Jiri just somehow slipped his arms through and locked his hands, and those long arms just got it in. Glover had him in a similar position like that multiple times, just never has that length to truly wrap him up. But I don't think I've ever seen anyone escape Glover's top game or whatever like that. I mean, I think a lot of it was mistakes on Glover's part, but, I'm not going to absolutely destroy the guy. He put on a great performance considering his age and everything against him. He had the arm triangle submission attempt where I thought it was over. It was a little high. It was on his chin, but it was a little high. He got off to the side. Usually when guys get off to the side like that, it's over. And then he had him rocked on the feet. I think that was round 4. And then he tried to do a standing guillotine, then pulled guard, went to the ground, and lost the position. And oh my God, I thought it was over right there. But I mean, after round 3 was over, it was guaranteed to be the best title fight of all time. Jiri had amazing striking and some of the round 2 and round 3 moments, but Glover's takedowns, and they weren't purely great, but his ability to scramble for positions and whatever is amazing. Props to both these guys. I know there's probably a lot of people might give me some hate comments for still picking Glover, and it's all in good fun. But man, what a title fight! Redeem the card. Again, stressful to watch, but that's what the sport's all about. Boxing's got nothing on that. Co-main event. This was a weird one. I knew it could go past 2 rounds. Shevchenko just didn't really let her hands go in the first 2 rounds. Talia Santos had top control on her game, but no legitimate damage. She had a couple submission attempts that weren't, fully in. If I had to score the rounds, personally, I scored it 1-2 Santos, 3-4-5 Shevchenko. I think round 3, I think it was 4 minutes to stand up, Valentina's advantage. Last minute, on the ground, Talia Santos on her back. In my opinion, we got a score by damage before that submission attempt for 1 minute. Gave her round 3. But, I mean, I understand why people can make a case for Santos to win that fight. It kind of just tells you can't really trust any huge favorite. I mean, these champs, they're champs until they get beat. They all got to get beat sometime, and Valentina almost faced that today. And honestly, the headbutt to Santos might have also stole her the fight. If that man had not happened, she could have. Santos might have took that fight from her. But KO points hit on this one. Yeah. After the last fight was ignorable, similar to Rose's fight, Zhang Weili puts on a beating, a clinic. I thought we were going to come in this fight. Joanna was going to be super technical. I watched some of her interviews where she said she was going to keep range, get out of the 50-50 exchanges. What does she do? Not that. She walked into punches. She got taken down, and props to Zhang. The takedowns were pushing Joanna in bad positions to ever try to get up. Zhang's ground and pound was amazing. She had great cardio going into round 2. She had such a high output on all those people, and then round 2, she got up and started all over again, and Joanna looked much more tired, just taking a beating. And as Dominic Cruz would say, we think Joanna was trying to tire her out in that first round by absorbing all those strikes to her Megamind head. And she seemed very concussed in her post-fight interview. Grabbing her head, retirement, she might not even remember that moment. Spinning back fist was insane. She didn't see it. We'd played the over 2.5, but hey, if Joanna doesn't see that strike coming, she's going to get knocked out, along with everyone else. Every spinning shit, no one ever sees those things coming. So, great fight. Probably the KO of the year. I'd say it beats Molly McCann's in terms of competition and timing. But yeah, incredible performance, and Zhang should be the champ. Moving down, Jake Matthews, Andre Fialho. Fialho had his moments, but he's had no volume. He had a couple punches that, staggered Matthews, and a round 1. Put him down, but, fight game's about urgency. He didn't have urgency in the fight. Jake Matthews got comfortable with his striking, and Fialho didn't use a jab. He used his right hand and left hook. That's all he had going for him. And, the Fialho train's over. I guess we're hopping off of it now. I wouldn't say we're getting hopping off. We're getting kicked off of it. But I also did not expect the KO from Matthews. I didn't think he had the finishing ability to take out Fialho. Once again, he just outstruck him. Fialho didn't give Matthews the same respect, the hands, so he took full advantage and took the fight. And props to Jake Matthews. Put a hell of a performance together. Jack, Della, Maddalena, what a performance. The choke, you're nervous for a second. It was a weird angle. Came off of his neck that Emeev had on the Jack, but I felt pretty comfortable. It was a weird angle. Jack kind of freaked out for a second and then got out of it. And as soon as he got up, you just know Emeev's tired due to squeezing. You're probably not breathing normal rate. Your arms are filled up with blood. And he just started piecing him, and then that beautiful body shot. I don't know how the KO prop was plus 300 for this. Kind of absurd to me because I thought it was pretty easy money. But I guess it was a 50-50 fight. The books saw it as right away, so maybe that's why it was big. Again, he just pushed the other volume. I'm curious who he'll fight next, if he'll fight a better wrestler even yet, or a striker who could really compete in his game. But the patience and the striking from this guy is really impressive. Really good prospect. Excited to see what he can do. And Choi, well, poor old Choi doesn't know how to use his frame. I've seen him in his other fights use his jab and his right straight a lot. Today, it was hooks, and props to Culibao. Great fight, like we said, you can't count him out. He have fought a good fight. Choi, he was in our parlays, and I'm thinking almost everyone's parlay, to be honest. And he just got knocked down round 1, and he got knocked down round 2. You can't really win the fight. It went to split decision, but it's pretty clear. It's Culibao round 1 and 2, and Choi taking the last one. But yeah, I expected him to use his range better, and Culibao was just the faster striker, and his hands were coming out of nowhere to hit him, and put on a good performance. And Culibao, he could be a future good guy, and Seung Choi is a national kickboxing or Muay Thai champion, and for him to kind of lose technique the way he did during the fight kind of shows you how, for one, how good Culibao is, and how an MMA fight can really take away your technique and all that, I guess. Maheshate, we said don't fade him. You know, he had good striking, he had this size advantage. Garcia was walking around like a goddamn idiot. He he literally kept his chin out on that, chasing him with 6 strikes in a row, and I was just like, here it comes, and it was the Ian Gary slip right hand, right down the pipe, right on the side of the head, flatlines him. I'm excited for what this kid can do. He's big for the division. Again, Steve Garcia is not anything special, but you know, it's a great way to kick off your UFC career. We'll see how far he can go. We'll keep riding the hype train. Well, it's not really a hype train. We'll call it like a hype bus or some shit. But he's gonna be running over some motherfuckers. Brennan Allen, Mr. Not Reliable. Another guy who the prelims was just unreliability, along with Glover not being able to get a submission. But Allen, he couldn't stop the wrestling. He had some of the worst takedown defense I'd seen. And for somebody who is a lot bigger, couldn't control the scrambles or hold top position, it's kind of funny to watch. But again, Malkoun didn't have any damage in the fight. So round 1 was very close. Malkoun got a takedown at the end of it. But Brennan Allen had the better of the exchanges on the feet. So I think the judges kind of took that more their way. And, you know, round 3, I think, if I can't remember right, Allen took over in the last 2 minutes and stayed on top and won the fight. But I don't know, both these guys are always hard to pick. And we came out on top, but it really didn't even mean anything in the end for betting for us. So Danaa, you know, he struggled with the range. Doesn't really have a game other than the left hook, right hook. I just thought he would get the knockout. He had some good hits, but Kang just used his jab, and we kind of predicted if he could move backwards and fight, which he could. He controlled range and kept the fight at hand and made pretty work quick of Danaa. There's not too much to say about this one. Grappling really didn't get too much implemented. And that's 2 times we're wrong on Danaa, so probably will never touch him again. But not like Michael Jackson, but we'll touch him. For the chick fight, you know, Liang, we thought she might get the takedown. I knew Juarez could crack. Again, didn't have a bet on this one. Didn't really care the exact result. But thought Liang would get it, and she got slept. And she got that Korean boy band haircut and a Beatle haircut, and the hair just go flopping around, fell like a boy. And fell hard. She was the dog. Her line came down a bunch. But Juarez has got legit power. If she could stay away from the ground, she'd be a really good fighter for chick division. I don't want to say really good fighter, but she's decent. You know, she could knock out a lot of these chicks. And the first fight of the night, Joselyne Edwards versus Ramona Pascual. So we live bet this one. I was watching this fight in round 3. First round, Pascual. She had her hurt to the body. Second round, Edwards had the more output and landed more strikes. And Pascual didn't really do anything for the last 2.5 minutes. Going into round 3, DK posted on my TV, it said plus 285, I think. And then I was like, what? How is Joselyne Edwards plus 285? It's 1-1. She just won the last round. Ramona was missing takedowns during the round. And I opened up DK, and it says plus 400. And I immediately stepped on it, put 0.25 units on it. And we got the easiest payout of our lifetime. And don't know what DraftKings was doing. I was hearing that other lines were all messed up as well for this. But, you know, we got this one right. We went 6 for 10 on picks, but hey, the Glover fight was 20 seconds away from our way. I don't think anyone had a great night, to be honest. But Zhang's finish again was a highlight. Mahechate's finish was a highlight. For some lackluster moments in the card, turned out to be a pretty great card. We'll end with a legendary fight, and hopefully Glover can retire on a good note and not keep taking damage. I know he said he wanted to fight again. I don't agree with it. I don't want to see him fight Jiri again and lose more time off his life. Some of these great fights, they just need to end on a great note. And in my opinion, it was a loss, but it was a win for the fans and for your resume. So, great card. All right, now for the not so fun portion of recap. Minus 3.93 units on the night. Not ideal. Again, we hit Jack. Got that line super early. Absolute cash cow. Danaa, we lost, but hey, we did pretty good on the straight bets. Not going to complain too much. Zhang, good straight bet by Carson. Hida. Edwards live bet, smack dab in the bank account. Allen and Choi, the one that everyone placed. The two unreliables that it ended up being for the card, everyone thought was locks. Allen almost lost, but Choi definitely lost. Fialho fell apart with Danaa. I did size back that one for a little bit of unit control. Still lost it. And my confidence for the card, Fialho, Choi, Allen, Jack. Two of them lost, but again, 0.25 units. A lot of red, too much red. Glover by finish. Again, got this line at 275 earlier in the week. Put 1 unit down. Would have been, 2.75 payback. But, he had so many chances to finish the fight. FanDuel, I looked back at it today. I kind of keep my phone off for betting stuff on fight days, but looked back on FanDuel today. It was boosted to 330. I was like, fuck, I'll take that extra bit. Put another half unit on it. He would have been going home huge winners if he would have gotten a finish. Didn't happen. Very close to it, but, live and you learn. Even times that fights seem so predictable, it's going to be a finish. Sometimes it isn't. And then we have Jack by KO. Like I said, maybe one of the steals of the card. Fialho KO didn't come through. Again, didn't start round 3. Kind of absurd. Again, everyone had the fight doesn't go the distance or whatever. But the fight didn't go the distance, I guess. I couldn't believe that submission still happened. And then Valentina fight started round 3. Easiest hit. Jack and Valentina by KO points. Nice little cash back. And then, Zhang Weili over 2.5. Kind of weird when you cheer for these fights because that crazy KO happens and you go, holy fuck, I just lost. You're like, he's insane KO, but you lost. If you want to solve the strike, I don't think she would have gone down like that, but she didn't see it. And she could eat all the other strikes, but just not that one. That would have been a cash bet. That would have been a nice payback, but whatever. For decision no bets, I thought Fialho, with just not the ability to finish on his record, that he or Jake Matthews' ability not to finish on the record, he wouldn't get it, and he did get it. Lost the unit there. Not the best showing. Valentina decision no bet, got her money back if it would have played. And Allen money back, but sloppiest fucking fight ever. And then the KO props. These other Fialho and Danaa ones could have happened. Both of them had their fighters rocked. But again, you live and you learn. Honestly, minus 3.93 units is not the worst result in my opinion. I think we could have lost, honestly, a lot more just for how all the things played out where we wanted to place our bets. But hey, Glover finish was about to happen. Didn't happen. And can't complain too much. We watched one of the best fights ever. And we'll be back. So see you guys next week for Calvin Kattar's fight versus Emmett. Check out the Instagram for the picks early. I already got a couple lined up for you guys. And yeah. Peace.